Viewers, a very important development regarding the resumption of oil production in Libya. Mismari, who is the spokesperson of LNA of General Haftar, he has issued a statement, an online statement, just a few hours ago. And this statement says the blockade of oil wells and oil ports in Libya will continue until three conditions are met. Viewers, this announcement by LNA to continue oil blockade, it is a huge blow to an earlier announcement by the US Embassy in Libya, because on 6th of July, the American Embassy in Libya, it issued a statement. I uploaded a video on that subject too. And the statement said that the economic group of the UN on Libya, it had agreed to back the NOC, National Oil Corporation of Libya, to resume its oil operations in Libya. The statement said that the UN, the USA, the UK, the Netherlands, Switzerland, EU representative of African Union, Arab League, then representatives of Egypt, Turkey, UAE, France, and Italy. They were on board. They participated in those talks regarding this resumption of oil production. NOC of Libya, National Oil Corporation, it was also in those talks. Mustafa Sanaullah, who is the head of NOC, he was part of these talks. So after these talks, the statement was issued by the US Embassy in Libya that all these countries are behind the NOC and all these countries back NOC to start its operations, oil operations in Libya, and oil blockade will be lifted, resumption of oil production, it will be ensured by the NOC. Now, viewers, GNA and LNA, they were not part of these talks directly. Though Turkey was part of these talks, Turkey backs GNA. Then Egypt and the UAE and France, they were part of these talks, and these countries back LNA. So it was being presumed that since the countries which are backing GNA and LNA, since they are part of these talks, it means that both GNA and LNA are on board. But still, the reaction, the official reaction of the official response of GNA and LNA, it was being awaited. Firstly, we heard from GNA. GNA Interior Minister Fatih Bashaga, he issued a statement regarding this announcement by the US Embassy about resumption of oil production by the NOC. Fatih Bashaga welcomed this call for the resumption of oil production in Libya. Then, viewers, the response of LNA was awaited, and now this response has come. LNA is rejecting the call for resumption of oil production in Libya. Al-Mismari, in his statement, he lays out three conditions. He says that unless and until these three conditions are met, oil blockade will continue. Now, what are these three conditions? Firstly, he says that a bank account outside Libya in some other country, it should be opened, and all the oil revenues must be deposited in that bank account. After that, there must be a fair and transparent distribution of these oil revenues among the regions and cities of Libya. Secondly, he says that a mechanism should be put in place to ensure that these oil revenues are not used to fund extremism, terrorism, and mercenaries. This oil revenue must be spent on the welfare of Libyan people. Thirdly, he says that the income of the NOC, National Oil Corporation of Libya, within the last few years, there must be an audit of the accounts of the NOC. Where did NOC spend the oil income within the last few years? There must be an audit of the accounts of the NOC of Libya. These three conditions have been laid out by the LNA viewers. Russia was not part of those talks which were led by the UN and the US, about which the American embassy issued a statement on 6th of July. Russia was kept out of those talks. Can you ignore Russia in Libya? Russia is in control of Al-Sharara oil field, which is the largest oil field in Libya, which accounts for 1/3 of total daily oil production of Libya. Russian fighters a few days ago entered a Sidra oil port as well, which is to the east of Sirte. So they are gaining control of new oil-rich areas. So can you keep Russia out of these oil agreements? That is why, viewers, a response of Russia was key to the success of this announcement by the American embassy regarding resumption of oil production. Russian response was awaited, and this response, I think it has come through the LNA. Russia is rejecting this resumption of oil production. Now, viewers, why is Russia and LNA, why are they rejecting this call for resumption of oil production? Oil is the main thing in Libya, viewers. Right now, Russia and the LNA, they are in control of oil-rich areas. So they have this leverage over the GNA and the countries backing GNA. They do not want to lose this leverage. Unless and until all the stakeholders are on board, we cannot find a comprehensive solution to Libyan conflict. Since oil is what Libyan economy is based upon, oil is the key. And now Russia is in control of oil-rich areas. You cannot keep Russia out of these oil talks. So this American initiative to find a solution to the Libyan conflict, it has failed. America, which is desperate to have some sort of space in Libya, it wants to regain some ground in Libya. After the overthrowing of Moammar Ghaddafi, it withdrew from Libya, and now it wants to have some presence here in Libya. But so far, it is not meeting with any success. And the Russians, they are very strong here. They are backing LNA, and LNA is doing what Russia wants it to do. Now, viewers, I think American announcement, American embassy's announcement, it was a masterstroke. Because oil is the key to Libyan conflict. Had this agreement been implemented, it would have lessened the influence of Russia. But Russia now, it has completely undermined this American effort to find a solution in Libya, viewers. Overall, it is a huge blow to the efforts for peace and stability in Libya, viewers. So many powers are here, so many players are here that it is not easy to have all of them on board. Each of them has its own interests, and to make all of them come together to find a comprehensive solution, it is not very easy. So either we are moving towards escalation of tensions, military tensions, because Turkey and GNA, they have announced to press ahead with their Sirte offensive. And one of the reasons behind their Sirte offensive is oil as well, because oil-rich areas are under the control of LNA. They are to the east of Sirte, and LNA has this advantage. Russia has this advantage. So GNA, Turkey, they want to take away this advantage of oil from LNA and Russia. So now either we are moving toward the Sirte offensive, or there might be some efforts to convince LNA regarding their stance. But the conditions that have been laid down, Especially the third condition regarding the audit of previous year's accounts of the NOC. This condition shows that LNA is not very sincere regarding the resumption of oil production. They are using this leverage of having the control of oil-rich areas. They will not like to lose this leverage, just like other countries want them to lose this leverage. They want to have their backers on board like Russia. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.